Good day. It is Altia from the Bible in 1 year. Today we spend time in Genesis 50, the greater truth. In the previous chapter, Jacob gathers his 12 sons to bless them according to the blessing appropriate for each. They are the beginning of the 12 tribes of Israel, verse 28. Before his death, Jacob asked his sons to bury him in the same cave as his father Isaac and his grandfather Abraham. Chapter 50 starts with a great mourning for Jacob. The last of the three great patriarchs of Israel has now passed. Joseph arranged for Jacob's body to be embalmed. This was necessary to delay the normal process of decay of the body to transport the corpse to Hebron. Mummification was not a practice by the Hebrews. Mummification was a religious Egyptian practice involving a priest. Therefore, Joseph entrusts the process to the Egyptian physicians in verse 2. Because of the elevated position and the high prestige Jacob acquired, all of Egypt mourned with him, as they would for royalty. Joseph asked the household of Egypt for leave to honor his father's wishes to be buried in Canaan. Pharaoh did not only grant his wish, but he sent with them many prominent Egyptian officials and public figures with chariots and horsemen. All the household of Joseph, his brothers, and his father's household went along, a very great and grand procession. They mourned with a great and very solemn lamentation, verse 4 to 10. The sons of Jacob buried him according to the solemn oath they made to their father. Jacob's sons often opposed and disappoint their father, but now they are careful to honor him. Therefore, they returned to Egypt as promised. With their father's death, the brothers now aware that they are the lesser and Joseph the greater, they feared that Joseph will revenge the evil they did to him as a young boy, selling him as a slave. They greatly doubt Joseph's character. Therefore, they send a message to him asking for forgiveness, and only then they went and fell in confession before Joseph, saying, "We are now your slaves," in verse 15 to 18. Joseph held no grudge against his brothers. In fact, he not only already forgave them, but he understood the greater purpose of God's plan. He said in verse 19 to 21 that vengeance does not belong to me, but to God. You meant evil against me, but the greater truth is that God meant it for good. It is God's word to bring retribution. God sent me ahead of you to Egypt to prepare the way for Israel, not to escape the great famine, but to survive it. Joseph had to survive a lot of difficulty, but God was with him every step of the way. Every Christian should be able to see the hand of God in their lives. Romans 8 verse 28 says, "And we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to his purpose." This should become your greater truth, as our lives are ultimately in the hands of God. No sin, event, or person can derail God's plan for your life. On his deathbed, Joseph said to his brothers, "God will surely take care of you. He will fulfill the promise to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob that he will bring you, Israel, to the land of promise." Joseph had no doubt in his heart that this promise will happen. Therefore, he made his brothers promise that when that time comes, they will carry his bones from Egypt to the promised land. Joseph's embalmed body was kept above ground in a place of prominence. This serves as a reminder of God's promise for Israel to return to Canaan. 400 years later, when Israel returned to the promised land, they took Joseph's body with them in Exodus 13, verse 19, and Joshua 24, verse 32. For this dramatic faith of Joseph, He is included as one of the men of faith in Hebrews 11, verse 22. May this word inspire you to keep faith, to look forward to the greater truth of God for your life, even if you might not see it in your own lifetime. May you be blessed. Goodbye.